Cool little thing, isn't it? It was worth 50 quid. No, it's not something you could just get out of a Kinder Surprise. Anyway. Hey guys, what's up? ScottishDuck here once again. And this is going to be my review slash thoughts on Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. Oh yes. As alluded to... Shut up. As alluded to with that chest, I picked up the Collector's Edition. And by the way, fuck Game. Game are shit. They are so shit. I am never buying a single thing from there ever again. I actually went to the Xbox One launch event just to buy this game, okay? I was trolling, you know, me and a friend, all these folk were gonna go buy a fucking shitey arse Xbox One, and we were just there to buy Zelda. We weren't the only ones there to buy Zelda, mind you, but it was funny. But yeah, I got to the end, I was at the end of the line, I went all the way through it, and I'm like, hi there, I would like my copy of Zelda, please. And they're like, oh, we don't have it in. I'm like, what? Because I phoned up the fucking morning. I said, and specifically said to them, hi, do you have Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds? Are you going to have it during the midnight event? And they're like, oh yeah, sure, just come on and you can buy it. I'm like, oh, cool. Liars! Oh, I was so annoyed at that. But yeah. Anyway, the next day, I got the game. And I got to play it over the weekend there. It was my birthday at the weekend, by the way. I was turning 25. The same age Zelda is. Well, it's on its 27th anniversary now, but yeah, Zelda's been a big part of my life, wouldn't you know? This was a very highly anticipated game for me. I think going towards the end of the year, there was like 3 3DS games that I was like really, you know, needing. That was Ace Attorney 5, Bravely Default Flying Fairy, and Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. Because I'm a massive Zelda fan, you know? So, how does this game hold up? Well, obviously, I got to draw comparisons to A Link to the Past, you know, the game that it's a sequel to. Yeah, looking at this game, you know, when it was first shown off, I was a wee bit worried because I was thinking it would be just a bit of a nostalgia blast, you know, as opposed to its own genuine, unique experience. You know what I'm saying? And I can safely say that this is easily the least original Zelda game we've ever had, you know. Before that, I'd say it was Twilight Princess got that that honor, because, you know, Twilight Princess, for all that it does do, and it does do stuff, don't get me wrong, it is just Ocarina of Time, again, you know, just really awesome. You know, Twilight Princess is a brilliant game, but yeah. But no, it's like, this is definitely the least original game now. One gimmick that they have added, you know, that sets it apart from its predecessor being A Link to the Past, you know, was this gimmick of being able to merge in the walls and shit. Now, it's cool, you know, you can merge in the walls, you can do a whole host of things with that, you know, it works really well. But, I don't know, I don't think actually it was really enough to hold the game its own, give it its own unique spark, if you will, you know. Let me compare it to a few other things in other Zelda games, you know. Compare it to the wolf that you can transform into in Twilight Princess, you know, that really seemed to, that was like definitely the most unique thing about Twilight Princess to me, you know. You could sort of chalk it up to just a transformation that you could probably get in like Majora's Mask or something, but I think it added a lot to that game, you know, and being able to traverse that game's particular Twilight world stuff, you know. I liked it. And I compare this jumping into the wall thing sort of on the level of those time stone things that you got in Skyward Sword, you know. They were a really cool idea, really well executed, and you wouldn't mind the whole game being based around them. And that's kind of the thing that this merging with walls tackles with me, you know. It doesn't really feel like something that should be its own game, you know. It should be like one dungeon. You know, get all the really good puzzles in there, and it would be really memorable as a result. And, you know, it'd be an item that you'd get to use with the rest of the game. That's just me. You know, obviously it works really well. Is that enough to carry the game on its own and give it its own unique identity? Sadly not. But, hell, you know, Zelda games, for as much as they do innovate, they do tackle old ground a lot, you know, similar to Mario. And I've never had a problem with that because they've always been just the best of experiences, just pinnacles of gaming as far as I'm concerned. So in terms of originality to the other games in the series, it's a bit weak, but that definitely doesn't make it bad. Now, I was playing this game for my birthday. I spent my whole birthday on this game, by the way. And I gotta say, I beat this game in more or less one day. Yeah, I sat down and played it all day, and I was ripping through dungeons left and right. I was collecting heart pieces left and right, rupees, all a bunch of other collectibles and side quests and stuff, you know? I don't want to say that this game is easy, and I don't want to say that this game is short, but one thing I definitely have to say is that this game, it's quite easy to plow through it, you know? It's really easy to just get so much progress done in such a short amount of time. I know that sounds weird, but again, compare that to the likes of Skyward Sword. It took you like 2 hours to get to the first dungeon in that game. In this game, you can have like 5 dungeons done in 2 hours, you know, if you know what you're doing, that is. So, I don't know, the whole game really seemed to just whoosh by for me. Which is really weird for a Zelda game. You know, usually you like to take in the world and take in the adventure and the story and all that. But not really in this one. It just kind of came and went really quick. And I'm not sure what I feel about that at this point. Like, I literally just beat the game like an hour ago there. But the adventure I went on was really fun, you know. It's the same overworld from A Link to the Past. There's changes in the overworld, you know. I think there's enough change in the overworld, I guess, to justify it. But it would have been nice to have a sort of like completely unique overworld, you know, that just looked like A Link to the Past. Because I am a little mixed on it, you know. They didn't have to copy it bit for bit, and they didn't exactly do that, but there's a lot of, you know, copying, if you will. And obviously, you go into Lorule as well, which is the dark world of this game. Now, that's quite different, you know. Aside from the themes and all that being in the same areas, I think, for the most part, Lorule was completely different, you know, which I did appreciate. Dungeons are, again, they're really well done and all that, but they just go by so quickly, and they're not really hard, they're not really easy, they just kind of go by and you're enjoying yourself. It's a really weird way, really weird to describe it, in fact, how this game, you know, just the pacing of it is. It's just so fast. You don't really know what you've played half the time. Like, I would get into a room, I would like, okay, I have to do that, I have to do that. I have to use this item here. Okay, I got the small key, out we go. What the fuck did I just do? You know, it's like that, it really is. What else is there to talk about? This is a very coherent video review, isn't it? The renting item system. That was fine, you know. For those of you who don't know, you can rent items from Nabbit the Rabbit. It's totally Nabbit the Rabbit. For 50 rupees a pot, you know, you rent the items, you can go to dungeons in any order you want, and you can use them right off the bat. Only problem is, though, I never died once in this game. Not once did I die. Never. So I never got items taken away from me. I never felt that sort of like impeding danger that everyone else was feeling, you know, because when you die you lose all your items, you gotta go rent them again. But no, I got to a point where I had so many rupees I could just collect them and buy all of them, and I was happy, you know. And one other kind of negative aspect to this system, I gotta say, is that it puts a lot less emphasis on the items themselves, because when you get them, sure, you need them for specific dungeons, you know, every item has its own dungeon, except for the boomerang. Boomerang didn't get its own dungeon. It's weird. I never used the boomerang once, by the way. I may have used it twice, I don't know, just to see what it was friggin' like, but I never used the boomerang in combat. And that's what I'm trying to get at here. Most of the items outside of the dungeon you need them in are useless. You know, I never really felt like using the bow and arrow to attack enemies. I never really felt like using bombs to attack enemies. I felt like using bombs to open secrets, I guess. I never felt like using the ice and fire rod. I don't know. the sword, the Master Sword is just really all you need in terms of combat. You know, I never needed it once, in fact, and there's not really that many context-sensitive areas, you know, like secret areas that you need the hook shot to get over, or, you know, obviously there's lots of, you know, caverns where you need bombs to get in, but for everything else, it's kind of underplayed immensely, I gotta say. So maybe that's another reason why the game went by so quickly for me. I didn't really explore too much, I guess. And the overworld itself is pretty small, actually. You can get from point A to point B really quickly, you know, compared to A Link to the Past, where it took quite a while to traverse. Probably because Link just sort of moves a lot faster in this game. You know, just being in 3D, the 16-bit in 3D. I mean, it shows how well it's aged, but it also shows how it's aged. I don't know. What else have I got to say? I'm sounding really negative. I should talk about some things that I like. I love the way this game looks. It runs at a lovely 60 frames per second. It's just a joy to look at all the time. The remixed music from A Link to the Past is amazing. And, you know, the obviously the original music is really good too. There's lots of side quests, loads of content, and it's just fluid, you know, it's fun to play. Like, I kept going on about how it's just everything goes by so quickly, but you're just having fun while you do it. You don't want to take your eyes off it. You just want to keep going at it until you can get as much as you can done. It's weird. I think this would be a really fun game to speedrun 100%. I got some somewhat Metroid vibes from this game, seriously. You know, like, just to 100% it and see how fast I can do it. And I never get that with any other Zelda game. Like I said, Zelda games for me are usually all about going on the adventure and taking in the adventure slowly. I didn't really get that with this one. It was a very weird experience as a Zelda fan, I gotta say. So, have I went over everything I wanted to? Probably not. I never do in these videos. Again, I've probably been sounding very negative, but this game is excellent. It really is. I guess that's what you do. That's what you do, obviously. In fact, here's what it was, right? I sort of came up with this analogy. This game met my expectations, but it didn't really exceed them, right? That's kind of I think that's it. You know why I'm sort of iffy sounding here. Usually when I'm really hyped for a game, it's great when it exceeds my expectations, especially when they're as high as this. But this one just met them. Therefore, I kind of just got what I was expecting with it. I got a really well done Link to the Past sequel that is worthy to be up there with the other, you know, Legend of Zelda games. I don't know, you take that away from me what you will. In terms of where I would rank it in the series, you might have seen my top 12 Zelda games that I did in this channel. That list is actually a bit outdated, to be honest, at this point. I think I would actually put Majora's Mask higher than I did. You know, that game's really grew on me. By the way, there was like a million references to Majora's Mask in this game. You know, Majora's Mask 3D, I kind of want that now. 2015, make it happen, Nintendo. But I would probably put this game just below Skyward Sword and slightly above Majora's Mask, I guess. That's where I would put it. I don't know. Literally, I just beat it there, like I said. Maybe I need to revisit it at some point. Maybe my opinion will change over the years. I don't know. But, hey, you've all bought this game anyway. This is like, you know, Nintendo already released a Pokemon game this year, you know. You thought that was them showing their big guns, you know. They've had a fucking Zelda game right there as well. It's crazy. 3DS has had a fantastic fucking year, you know. And, you know, just this Zelda thing to top it all off is glorious, really. Mind you, for us here in Europe, there's still Bravely Default. You know, I'll definitely be doing a video on that. I really, really can't wait for that one. But yeah, that was Zelda, A Link Between Worlds. Hope you enjoyed my ramblings. This video is probably long as fuck. I will, yeah, stay tuned for more little videos like this where I talk. That's what I always do. So yeah, see you after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. I don't know why I'm standing up. Fuck it.